Yo, what is up, guys? Today we're going to be talking about LFA 95, Browne versus Estrázulas. Now this fight card currently has 9 MMA fights on it. This fight is currently happening on November 20th. The first fight of the night is between Kevin Kassan and Isaiah Diggs. They are both making their pro MMA debut in this fight on the prelims, but it is an amateur fight. The second fight of the night is between Jordan Haderman and Mauricio Blanco. Jordan Haderman 2-0, Mauricio Blanco 4-0, and that is a heavyweight fight. Now, the next fight after that is between Bruno Silva 7-1 and Guilherme Costa, who is 8-2, and that is a featherweight fight. Now, the next fight after that is between Tabitha Richie and Flora, which is a women's strawweight fight. The fight after that is between Michael Stock and Jordan Mapa, which is a featherweight fight. Michael Stock 4-1, Jordan Mapa 3-2. The next fight after that between Victor Altamario and Lloyd McKinney. Victor Altamario 7-1, Lloyd McKinney 14-6, and that is a flyweight fight. The fight after that between Alex Pedraza and Thomas Powell, which is a middleweight fight. Alex Pedraza 2-1, Thomas Powell 4-4. And then that reaches to the co-main event of the evening between Myron Dennis, who is 17-7, and Dylan Potter 9-4. And this is a light heavyweight fight. The fight after that, obviously the main event of the evening between Nick Browne and Arthur Estrázulas for the vacant lightweight championship. It should be a very good fight between 10-1 Nick Browne and Arthur Estrázulas, who is 12-4. Alright, so for the first fight of the night, it is an amateur fight. Both fighters are 0-0. I literally have no clue what either fighter looks like, what background their fighter is, if they're a kickboxer, if they're a jiu-jitsu fighter, if they're wrestlers, if they're knockout artists. I have no idea. I'm just going to make a pick. I don't know, honestly. Kevin Kassan winning by unanimous decision. I have no idea who's going to win this fight. There's no info on both of these fighters. So let's just get on from those two. For the second fight of the night, the first fight on the prelims, Jordan Haderman and Mauricio Blanco, two undefeated fighters. Jordan Haderman 2-0, Mauricio Blanco 4-0. They're both similar ages. Jordan Haderman at 29 years old, Mauricio Blanco 32 years old. Jordan Haderman is 6'3" tall, has a 78.5-inch reach. Mauricio Blanco a little bit smaller at 6 foot tall. Now, as I said, both undefeated fighters, but definitely, Mauricio Blanco definitely has the power advantage. You look at his 4 pro MMA bouts: second round knockout, first round at TKO, and then a first round knockout. Compared to Jordan Haderman's first round knockout and then a split decision over Jacob Heavlin. I really think Mauricio Blanco is going to go out there and really show his power and get a TKO in the first or second round. Alright, so after that second fight on the prelims, we go to the main card, where in the first fight on the main card, we have Bruno Souza taking on Guilherme Costa, which is a featherweight fight. Bruno Souza, 7-1, 24 years old, 5'7" tall, and has a 70-inch reach. Guilherme Costa, he's 8-2, 23 years old, 5'10", and has a 70-inch reach. Now, Bruno Silva was actually supposed to fight Nathan Levy, but Levy was actually signed on a Dana White's Contender Series, where he inevitably ended up winning that fight, and got a UFC contract. So Bruno Silva was about to fight a UFC caliber fighter, but now Guilherme Costa steps in on short notice to fight Bruno Souza. Now this fight should be really good. Bruno Souza, definitely the grappler. Guilherme Costa, he's a pretty good boxer, pretty good kickboxer. Bruno Souza, I really think is just way too good with the grappling, and for this to be a short notice fight, Bruno Souza is going to do what he does best: take you down, go for submissions, and honestly submit you. Because if you look at his career, first round submission, 2 decision wins, a third round at TKO, a split decision win, and then got this fight against Guilherme Costa. So I think this fight could end as a submission, but I think this fight goes all the way, and I have Bruno Souza winning this fight by unanimous decision. Alright, so after that fight comes Tabitha Richie and Flora. This is a women's strawweight fight. Tabitha Richie 3-0, Flora 2-1. Tabitha Richie is obviously 25.5 years old, 5'1" tall. Flora 33.5 years old, 5'3" tall. So a little bit of an age and a little bit of a height advantage for Flora in this fight. So Tabitha Richie 3-0. She is a serious grappler. None of her wins have come by submission, but she really knows how to dominate the fight on the ground, and that's why she has 3 unanimous decision wins. so far in her pro MMA career, one of which being inside the LFA at LFA 90 against Kelsey Arneson by unanimous decision. Flora 2-1. You look at her career, she started off with a nice win, a loss over Kennedy Freeman by unanimous decision, came back with a unanimous decision, and then had an exhibition bout inside the Invicta FC Phoenix Series 2, lost that one by split decision to Chantel Cotes, and came back with a unanimous decision over Kathy Sorazano, and it was supposed to fight on Invicta FC against Vanessa Demopoulos and Jennifer Chiang, but now seeks to make her LFA debut against Tabitha Richie. Now, honestly, both of these fighters, they're pretty good, honestly. Flora Hani, she is 33 years old right now. And Tabitha Richie, her submission skills are going to be way too much. I don't think she'll get a submission. I think she's kind of going to be doing what Bruno Souza does. Take Flora Hani down, dominate, and win the fight by unanimous decision. Alright, so the fight after that is between Michael Stack and Jordan Mapa. Michael Stack 4-1, Jordan Mapa 3-2. It is a featherweight fight. Michael Stack just came off of his first ever loss to Kai Kamaka III by unanimous decision. Before that, got a first round submission over Brian Mitchell by rear naked choke. Got a knockout before that, got a submission before that, and got a unanimous decision before that. So he was on a roll before that loss to Kai Kamaka III. Jordan Mapa 3-2 is also actually coming off of a loss to Zaxton Kamaka by unanimous decision. Started to screw up with a first round knockout, lost a unanimous decision, and came back with the first round knockouts, 2 of them in a row. So he really has some very good power. A lot of people think he's going to go out there and get a knockout in this fight. I don't think so. Michael Stack, even though he just came off of his first loss, it was against a very, very good fighter, someone who got a shot inside the UFC. So I think Michael Stack's going to go out there and dominate this fight to get a unanimous decision victory. Alright, so the fight after that is between Victor Altamario and Lloyd McKinney. It is a flyweight fight. Victor Altamario, 7-1, 29 years old, 5'6" tall. Lloyd McKinney, 14-6, 34 years old, 5'7" tall. So Victor Altamario, I really think he has the submission skills to get a submission in this fight. But I don't see it happening. It's very, very possible he can get a submission in this fight. I just don't see it happening. I think in this fight, he's just going to dominate both on the feet and on the ground. He doesn't have the power to knock you out. He has very good submission skills, but I don't see it. I think this fight's going to go all the way. And Victor Altamario is going to win the fight by unanimous decision. And this comes the third to last fight of the night. Alex Pereira and Thomas Powell, a middleweight fight. Alex Pereira is on a 2-fight win streak, 33 years old, 6'4" tall. Thomas Powell, 25 years old, 4-4. He is 5'9" tall. So Alex Pereira is such a huge height advantage in this fight. He is literally 7 inches taller. That is absolutely insane. That is literally all I need to say, okay? If you look at this guy, he is an outstanding kickboxer. First round knockout, unanimous decision, all of these in kickboxing. Lost 2 unanimous decisions. Came back with a nice third round rear naked choke submission. Lost in MMA, got a first round knockout in MMA. Went back to kickboxing, and guess who he faced? Yes, Israel Adesanya, and he beat Israel by unanimous decision. Okay, I'm not even gonna go forward with this. Just beating Israel Adesanya shows you have some dang kickboxing skills. And guess what? After that win over Israel Adesanya, he had one more MMA fight, won that by second round knockout, lost a kickboxing fight, and then fought Israel Adesanya again. And guess what happened? He won that one by knockout. No joke, he knocked out Israel Adesanya. Dude, that's all I need to say. Alex Pereira is going to go out there and get a knockout in this fight. It is that simple. If you can beat Israel Adesanya twice by unanimous decision and knockout in kickboxing, you're absolutely insane. This dude is going to be, he has a super duper bright future in MMA. He just needs to work on his grappling a little bit. But obviously, he's going to win the fight by knockout in the first or second round. And that leads us to the co-main event of the evening. It is a light heavyweight fight. Myron Dennis, 17-7. Dylan Potter, 9-4. None of them are pretty old. 31 years old for Myron Dennis. 25 and a half years old for Dylan Potter. 6'2" tall for both of them. They're both on pretty good streaks right now. Myron Dennis on a 2-fight win streak with a unanimous decision and a split decision over Rob Moreau. Dylan Potter's on a 3-fight win streak over knockout submissions and a body kick knockout over, I believe, Suwatani. Honestly, this is probably one of the closer fights on this fight card. Both of these fighters definitely have some power to knock each other out. But I don't think either will do so. I think Dylan Potter is a much better striker in this fight. And with that being said, I have Dylan Potter winning this fight by unanimous decision. And that leads us to the main event of the evening. Guess who is fighting Nick Browne and Arthur Estrázulas for the vacant lightweight championship. This fight should be absolutely insane. Nick Browne 10-1, Arthur Estrázulas 12-4. This is for the vacant lightweight belt. They're both a pretty similar age. Nick Browne, 30.5 years old. Arthur Estrázulas, 31.5 years old. Similar heights. Nick Browne, 6 foot tall, 72 inches. For his reach, Arthur Estrázulas, 5 foot 11 inches tall, so similar heights there. And has a 70-inch reach. Nick Browne is coming off of a very nice win over Ben Egley. Before that, got submission by rear naked choke over Trey Ogden, and a rear naked choke over Jeffrey Pelton. Arthur Estrázulas coming off a 2-fight win streak over Dominic Clark by rear naked choke submission, and Steve Cazzola by submission by rear naked choke. Before that, he did get a loss by split decision to Thiago Tavares. But he looks good in his last 2 fights. Both of these fighters look very good in their last couple of fights. This is a very hard one to predict. Estrázulas is definitely the better grappler. He definitely likes to get your back early and go for submission after submission. Try to get a rear naked choke as soon as he possibly can. But I think Nick Browne can fight those off and keep the fight on the feet where he can dominate the fight a little bit more and win this fight by unanimous decision. Alright, so those are my predictions. I have Mauricio Blanco, I have Bruno Souza, I have Tabitha Richie, I have Michael Stack, I have Victor Altamario, I have Alex Pereira, obviously he beat Israel Adesanya, I have Dylan Potter, and I have Nick Browne winning their fight at the LFA 95, Browne versus Estrázulas. Make sure to subscribe, make sure to like this video. I'm out of here.